It's about time I get an upgrade at the Series 5. Now, the Ultra. Let's go. Welcome back to Dawson Design Production Company. Today we are reviewing the Apple Watch Ultra. I've been using this watch for a little over 2 weeks, and I have some thoughts. Now, here's my little waterproof camera. This guy's very nice. Pop it out. I can very easily carry this wherever. So I went freediving with it, with this and the watch. So here's that. The watch worked great. It was able to tell me how deep I had gone in the water, what the temperature of the water was, and how long I had been diving. In general, I don't know how it does this, but it's about when my head goes under and is under for a few seconds when it starts timing. There were some other freedivers there that have been doing freediving for a lot longer, and they were able to take my camera and my watch down into the spring that we were at. They went 20 feet. I only went 17, but it took my watch, I think, for a minute and a half. As far as I can tell, it's pretty good for diving. Those two guys were like, we should get a dive computer, but they're expensive, and the Apple Watch is no different. Like, you can get something that just measures depth for cheaper, but if you want an Apple Watch and you can get one that does a dive computer, that's kind of cool. But I don't want to just talk about my diving experience with it. Yes, that was a fun thing that I did, but not everyone has the ability to do that or wants to do that. So my question is, I'm not an avid diver. I've only really done free diving once, and I've never gone scuba diving or anything. My question that I want to kind of answer for you today is, as a regular person, do you want this watch? And the answer is, as a generally regular person that usually doesn't go free diving, hiking, or any of that kind of stuff, I do want this watch, partly because it is the newest watch, newest design. There's never been an Apple Watch that looked quite as extravagant as this one. It is the first Apple Watch ever that I've worn that people were like, oh, is that the new Apple Watch? That's only been a thing commonly said about the very first Apple Watch and this Apple Watch. So if you want to get an Apple Watch that people are going to be like, that's the new one. This is the one. Now, it was time for me to upgrade from my old Apple Watch, which was broken and Series 5 and bad battery, and I wanted a new watch. And so the options were a Series 7. I want stainless steel because I want the sapphire glass, and the stainless steel looks good. Looks all fancy and stuff, and that's kind of what I want. And once you spec that all out, cellular, I wanted cellular. Once you spec that all out, it's another $50 for the Apple Watch Ultra. So I could have gone with a Series 7 for $150 cheaper than this watch, but it kind of seemed like a no-brainer to go that other $150 to get the watch I really want and not compromise. Buy the best once and don't have to buy the next few years. So I'm planning on keeping this for the next few years. I don't imagine Apple is going to redesign it next year, and I also don't imagine that there will be any features that I need next year. Let's talk about battery. Now, it gets 3 days of battery for me. Just regular use, sometimes using cellular, usually not. I get 3 days on it. And if I turn on low power mode, I get 5 days. That's a full work week. I could not take my charger and go stay on campus at work. I could not take my charger and not have to worry about it. I'd probably worry anyways because I wouldn't be able to use the always on display. But pretty much 5 days, it can make it on low power mode. And I'm not sure what all low power mode turns off, but always on display, and I think it just doesn't take your temperature and stuff. The temperature sensor is cool for when I'm swimming, and it also takes my temperature at night. And I assume it'll tell me if I'm starting to get a fever. When it came out, I thought that the temperature sensor was only for women, which would be kind of dumb to have that feature in there, but half the population can't use it. So apparently it is not only for women, because it was announced for the Cycles app, which is an app only for women. The temperature sensor does take measurements every night. It's not something I can be like, hey, what's my temperature? Let's just do a thing and it takes my temperature. So that's not really a thing. It is a feature that it has, and it takes measurements and puts it into my health app. The screen is beautiful and flat, and I love the screen. And I've heard from other reviewers that they're bothered by being like hitting the edges of the screen, and it's just not really a problem. Like, the lip is not too tall, and it protects the screen. And I don't even notice it, don't even give it another thought that there's the edges there. What I do notice is that I used to go around when I'm pushing the crown, I would go around it, and you can't scroll on the side of the crown. There's this little thing here. That is bothersome. The button on the side outjots a little bit from the crown guard. It's kind of interesting that they went away from that with the Series 4, and then they went, like, the year they discontinued the Series 3, which had that kind of button, they came out with a new watch that has that kind of button. And the siren is loud as heck. And if I'm ever lost, I know that I can play that siren and probably be found by someone within like 1,000 yards, because it is loud as heck. I've heard from other people that it's not loud, and I don't know where they're trying it. Soundproof Studio is probably not that loud, but outside it echoes and it is loud. And I haven't tested that very much, but I would like to do a test. Like, I'm gonna go hide in the woods and play the siren. Can someone come find me? Just play a little game, do a video maybe. But yeah, this is the greatest Apple Watch to have ever been made. It is the greatest watch to have ever been made, because the Apple Watch is the best. There's not anything that Android has to offer that can live up to what the Apple Watch can do, processor-wise and whatnot. And this is the best. And this is the best Apple Watch. So that stands to reason that this is the best watch ever made. If you disagree with my opinion, let me know down in the comments. I love this watch. Contrary to the way I decorated my studio today, I don't do extreme sports very much. I mean, I'll go bike ride. I'll go bike ride to wherever. Just because small town, you can do that. I can bike ride to the ice cream shop and have an ice cream and not feel bad about eating ice cream because I bike rode all the way here. Yeah, do random diving. And so, contrary to the decoration behind me, that's really just for this video. Yeah, I'm not an extreme sports guy. I am just a regular guy that loves my Apple Watch Ultra. And I love to use it. I love being able to use the keyboard, the larger screen from the last version. What I said when it first came out, and what other people have said as well, is this is the Cybertruck of watches. It is big, it's kind of ugly, and it's divisive, and it causes people who are fans of Apple to have to choose whether Apple should have done this or shouldn't have. And the design grew on me just as the Cybertruck design grew on me. It's so ugly. I love it. It's beautiful. So, it's the most expensive. It's the best. It's the biggest and the best, and I love it. And it's worth it, even if you're not doing extreme sports. That's about all I have for you. Don't forget to like, subscribe, comment below your thoughts on this video. Later. I had dived, was able to tell me